Hello, everyone. I want to share with you very interesting information about the amazing astronomical phenomenon which is involving the solar cycles and the solar activities. And this is research made very long ago by Russian scientists. Later on, I think NASA did implement such analysis and research, and they call this simply solar cycle, and they put number. So now, as of certain year, we're in the 25th solar cycle. That's why this current solar cycle they call solar cycle 25. So if you research the NASA's work, you easily find enough information on solar cycle 25. But how is this interesting for us astrologically? Now, two interesting things I will tell you. One is the words of the Bulgarian master being Sadunu, who was speaking about the sun, very interesting things. First of all, the sun, he was saying, later on, by the way, many years after, these are just brackets which I'm opening, many years after the master being Sadunu, who prepared us for us, the human beings, for our entrance into the era of Aquarius, much after being Sadunu, there was an amazing boy born in Russia, in Ural, in Siberia, who lived only 10 years. He was born in 1982 and he died in 1993. On his birthday, he died. Amazing boy. They call him the Russian angel or the Russian prophet because he was a prophet. I will tell you, I listened to his prophecies and some of them I just don't even want to tell you. They are so grim. But he was speaking a lot about the sun, and he spoke about the sun, almost the same beautiful things which the master being Sadunu said. So he was saying, being Sadunu, and later on also repeated by the small boy, the Russian angel, so they said that the sun is hot only on the surface. Inside, it has atmosphere, it has water, which water is even more pure, it's purer than the water on Earth. And it has brilliant environment and nature, and very advanced human beings are living on the sun. And inside the sun, the conditions are gorgeous, absolutely not hot. So then Master Being Sadunu was saying that when there are sunspots or increased solar activity, then we notice on Earth increased fertility. So we will have more fruitful lands, better agriculture, but worse worse conditions like catastrophes, like Earth natural catastrophes, natural phenomena, including wars. And later on, the Russian scientists made amazing research, and this research was again on the solar activities. And here, when what NASA is saying, first of all, that the solar activities, the new cycle of increased solar activities started in December 2019. And the solar cycle roughly usually takes approximately 11 years. And of course, both the length and the strength of the cycles can vary. And this also has to do with the ever-changing magnetic fields which cause the dark sunspots on the solar surface, with more spots at solar maximum and few or none at solar minimum. So the solar maximum, I'm reading directly from the website of NASA, you can find this. The solar maximum was expected to happen somewhere in 2025, but it will happen in 2024, which means, what is the solar maximum? You heard what they said. It has to do with increased solar activity and increased number of solar spots. So when we have increased number of solar spots, according to Bein Sedunu and according to this team of Russian scientists, we have very, very, very significant events, important events, wars, but also natural catastrophes. And I will work now with examples. I will tell you some examples. This is not to scare us, you know, but we should also be knowing, be aware that 2024 will be not a quiet year. So we have absolutely increased, we will have increased number of solar spots activities in the next year. And let me tell you, you noticed December 2019, we entered solar cycle 25, the 25th, since they follow this solar activity. This is simply the numbers which NASA put. So remember what happened in December 25, December 2019? Well, they came up with a pandemic. See, this has to do immediately. We enter solar cycle, boom, we start with important world mundane astrological, not astrological, well, phenomena on mundane level. So let me tell you now which events took place according to the research, according to the cycles measured by the Russian scientists. And you know, since when they measure, you will be surprised. They are numbered since mid-18th century, since 1755. So you see, this is when they started counting, measuring these cycles. So you see, it is really something very, very interesting, and with enough statistics in order really to conclude, well, that when there is a solar cycle, and when we have the peak of the solar cycle, there is always a very significant event, usually a war. So this is according to the empirical evidence of the Russians. And let me tell you what happened. Later on, actually, American researcher, his name is Jevons, I don't know how, I think he was working for NASA, I think so, I'm not sure. He repeated this research by the Russians, and absolutely the same was confirmed. So when we had the peaks, listen what happened. 1789, Great French Revolution. 1830, another solar peak. Revolutions in Europe, in France, in Poland, in Germany, in Italy, and in Greece. 1848, revolutions in Europe, again, in Italy, in France, in Germany, in Austria. Then, I'm missing some, because revolution in Cuba, 1957, 1959. Islamic revolution in Iran, 1979. Again, you see, solar cycle, increased activity of the solar cycle. Fall of Berlin Wall, collapse of communism in Eastern Europe, collapse of Soviet Union, 1989, 1991. Arab Spring, 2010 to 14. Revolutions in Egypt, Libya, Syria, Yemen, Tunisia. And here comes the revolution in Ukraine, 2013, 2014. Then, so revolution in Spain, 1936. Socialism conversion in Eastern Europe, 1946, you see. Hungarian Revolution also happened in during such a cycle. Is there a change in pattern? I think, yes, the solar activity is even more increased now, but usually the magnitude is quite the same. I see, because there are these charts. So the next such peak is expected to happen early 2024, and it is believed that the pandemic was triggered due to us entering this solar cycle, which I told you happened December of 2019. So you see how important it is to look at the activity of every planet. I used to look at the sun only as a planet, as the father of the solar system, with great, mighty, gorgeous, of course, a planet from many perspectives. But now we have to look also at these specific details. I think this is very, very, very important. So you see, and let me also tell you, the last cycle ended in 2008, but caused the previous economic crisis. So what to expect? We can expect in 2024 peak of the war, not the one in Ukraine, because it started under other circumstances, and I told you it's about to end, but more other warlike situations in the peak. We can also expect economic collapse. And you see the Master Being Seduno is saying, when you have such increased solar activity, the agriculture, the nature is the agriculture is more fruitful. Let me see, but also there will be catastrophes on Earth, and this is actually statistically, unfortunately, confirmed. And the last thing which he said, you know, is very interesting. When you have increased solar activities, more souls are gathering on Earth. It means increased rate, birth rate, more people were coming. Yeah, I think I hope this was interesting for you. This was not meant to, we just have to know these things. We should be very wise and not being afraid, worried, but we should also know that all this has circular cyclic nature. Such is astrology. So I hope this was interesting for you, ladies and gentlemen. All the best. And of course, what I wanted to say, I forgot to mention, we can see how this is going to look in the horoscopes. Of course, we can see how this solar activity will have impact in the horoscopes. You can certainly look at that. I have idea how. Of course, for me, this research is quite new, very interesting, very exciting. But yes, it has impact not only on the collective, but it has impact on our personal horoscopes. So all the best to you. Bye-bye.